Expo time.
Hi, my name is Skip, and I'm here for two reasons. Number one, I want to help you become a better leader, and number two, I want to help you help others. So what is an expert? It's hard to define who is an expert. How is someone an expert? How does someone become an expert? How does someone get classified an expert? Well, this question arose, I was talking with my brother about two blogs that we both occasionally read. The first is, I will teach you how to be rich, and that's not dark enough. His name is Ramit, and he's very engaging and cool, and it's, I will teach you. I'll just call it that. I will teach you to be rich. And then the other one, this other blog is called, it's this dude named Baker, and that's Man versus Debt. You know, I should also just put this up like in text so you can read it, not by my handwriting. Okay, so Ramit is this, he's an Indian dude. He's American, but he's an Indian dude. He lives in San Francisco, and he knows finances. And he is the master of finances. And he has these videos. He helps people make more money on the side. He helps people negotiate to make more money. And he also has this big thing on automating finances. So he takes the human decision process out of money, because as humans we make mistakes, and so we end up coming short at the end of the month for rent, or we don't save as much as we want to. And that's what his blog's about: automating your expenses and your money in your bank accounts and everything, so that you can then save the most money and be the most effective with your money and be able to make rational economic decisions. That's cool. Baker is pretty awesome because he backpacked across New Zealand with his baby and his wife, and I love his Twitter. He's really funny. And his Man versus Debt, his blog is about taking financial control and taking your finances, putting them all into one account, and not automating anything, unautomating your finances. He has a new book out about it. So that's his deal. He says you should be conscious of every decision you're making with your money, and he talks about how automating your finances is bad. So as you can see, these guys are opposite. Essentially, he's like, be the computer. He's like, don't be the computer. Automate, don't automate. They're opposites. They're both experts. They both have huge blog followings. They both have a lot of Twitter followers. They both have a lot of clout in the financial community. They know what they're talking about. If you read their blogs, you see instantly, oh, these guys know what they're talking about, but they're opposites. So what makes an expert? How does one go over the other? Well, at the end of the day, at the discussion I had with my brother basically summed up that with experts, you're just seeking advice. So it's up to you to decide. What works for Baker may not work for you. What works for Ramit may not work for you. So you have to decide. But at the same time, you have to be careful of who the expert is. Now, granted, I'm using these two examples because they're legit experts. And I've read their blogs and I've followed their stuff, so I think they're experts. But if I read their blogs enough and I started a new blog called Man Will Teach You How to Be Rich versus Debt or something.com, and I started a blog talking about how you could automate and unautomate your finances, just try to spin their knowledge. I could be an expert. I could do things to craft myself as an expert. I could, talk somewhere. I could get a write-up in a newspaper, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm an expert. So you really have to research your experts and not just fall into a trap. Now, how does this relate to what I think about? So not to get into too much, to go up too much, you have the steward model, right? You're in the center of a wheel, working with your peeps and your friends and followers to get the greater goal, the greater mission accomplished, right? Well, in this setting, the leader is interchangeable. They're not the center of attention. That's the center of the universe. They're just trying to get people together to accomplish something. So they should never lie about being an expert. They should never say they're an expert in something if they're not. And it's something that is very tricky, posing yourself as an expert. So I caution people to be careful about that and to make sure they actually are experts and to research them. Make sure that the person's actually being a steward leader and not just trying to make money off of the fact that they're an expert. But really, if you are living the wheel, then you should not call yourself an expert in something you're not. Don't ask me how to fix your car. I can't do that. Don't ask me about your finances. I can't help you with that. Ask me about your Gap Year stuff. I can probably help you with that. But it's important to make sure that you're being true to yourself, that you're being true to the group and the larger group that you're working with. All right, so that's my take on being an expert. It's hard to determine. You could be and experts are on polar opposite ends of the spectrum. So it's important to be true to yourself to make sure that if you're an expert, you know where you stand, and also that you're honest about it, or you're honest about not being an expert. Anyway, my name is Skip. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Go live the wheel.